So today I experienced a simple, more easily explainable distillation of the reason that I find it so frustrating living with other people who do not upkeep their environment, which in turn becomes my environment to the same level I prefer. Today, I had no ketchup or mustard. My housemates cooked a batch of hot dogs for everyone, which is nice of them, but when we, being me and my partner, arrived in the kitchen to partake at dinner time, we found that some of the fundamental condiments that you'd expect were not present. There is usually plenty of ketchup in the house, too much, honestly, because things are unreasonably overbought at Costco. The ketchup we'd had in the fridge only the day before this, like this exact moment where suddenly I have no ketchup, had just been opened a week or so ago, and upon opening it, was already over half of a year expired. So, technically, it's good that it's finally gone. I'm glad I don't feel obligated to have to consume expired ketchup to prevent more waste in this house. But I'm not happy to be standing there, hungry at mealtime, with a plain ass hot dog and a bun in my hand and no preferred way to dress it. Not that it's relevant, not that you care, but I like my hot dogs one of two ways, with ketchup and mayo, or with mustard and relish. And the big fuck off bottles of ketchup and mustard that we'd had both spontaneously disappeared within the last 24 hours because they needed supplies at a job site. And despite making shopping trips for the exact purpose of supplying the other location, no new condiments were bought for either party, and instead, the house condiments were taken. Some preparations may have been made, but other people's preferences were not considered. And I'd like to point out, I wouldn't care if there was no ketchup or mustard if it had been consumed, because one, I would have seen that coming. It'd have been a notable decline to prepare for. Like, very slowly the ketchup's going down, so we're gonna write it on the grocery list and go get another one. And two, that wouldn't have been a choice that someone else made to remove the condiments from the environment without consideration of me or without my notice. It is only in the fact that I am unable to prepare for these things that bothers me. That I'm presented with a hot dog with no means to dress it in a way that's appetizing. If I had full autonomy over my environment, different choices would be made that didn't involve me standing disappointed with a plain, sad, limp hot dog in my hand. Such as buying new condiments in the events of lost ones, but not the over preparation of it to the point everything has expired all the time, like usual, and just not choosing to cook hot dogs when there aren't the usual condiments around that everyone else would want, which only they knew, and at that point, it would have been a waste of resources to spend a half an hour in that moment of presentation and realization to hop in a vehicle, spend 30 minutes driving in and out of town just to go buy a bottle of ketchup. We can't Uber Eat stuff like that here. So, basically, if I lived on my own and didn't have ketchup, I wouldn't have been eating hot dogs right now. But I neither got to make the choice in what dinner was, or given enough control of awareness of what's in the fridge to eat it the way that I would want. Because, like I talked about in another video, bad food makes me sad. So ultimately, I don't have control over my environment, the quality of my food intake, as it's either expired or can't be prepared right, or my mood, because I've got no fucking ketchup.